Hey guys, welcome to Fantasy Tipped. Max here with you, fresh off a 4-0 sweep last week, which brings my record to 13-6-1. Quite happy about it. As you can tell, I know a thing or two about waiver wire action, and that's why I'm here to help you for the upcoming weekend 6 of the fantasy season. This weekend we have 3 games on Friday, 13 games on Saturday, and 5 games on Sunday. We'll start with Friday and Saturday. We have only the Winnipeg Jets this weekend. Up first is Cole Perfetti. The rookie is doing an amazing job in his sophomore season. He's racked up 11 points in 14 games already and plays on the PP1. Alex Iafallo is cementing himself as the top-line winger in Winnipeg. He's got a goal, 7 assists, 8 points in the last 5 games, including a 4-point game last week. Who would have thought Nikolai Ehlers would only be 22% rostered in mid-November? I'll stick him at number 3 because he's still in a top 6 role and bolsters that PP2. He's scored at least 20 goals in 6 of the last 7 seasons while missing a bunch of games. In Ehlers' case, we should see statistical correlation. As much as he's a drop candidate, he's also a buy low option. The captain at number 4, who centers the PP2, Adam Lowry, he comes with hits and faceoffs. And worth noting, he was tied for 6th in the league for short-handed points last season. Nino Niederreiter, third-line winger with power play utilization, 10 points so far in 14 games. At number 6, Vlad Namestnikov. Over the years, Namestnikov has been a really good streamer for deeper leagues, either playing with good players, multiple eligibility, or getting a little bit of everything here and there. Right now he's centering Cole Perfetti, who's hot, and Nikolai Ehlers, who's bound to come around. He's also the PP2 center. And finally, Mason Appleton, no power play for him, but the chemistry he built with Adam Lowry helps these two stack points up. He's got 10 points from the third line. Up next, we have the Friday and Sunday section, 3 teams in action, Anaheim, Buffalo, and Toronto. At number 1, Leo Carlsson, the Ducks' new number 1 center, has been on fire recently, tallying 6 goals, 2 assists in his first 10 pro games. There was rumors earlier in the year where he might not play back-to-back all year, so there is risk involved here, but he's been doing so good, I think he might play both games. His line mate Troy Terry is another great option, high shot volume, PP1 deployment. We also have Casey Middlestat. At the time of making this video, he is the PP1 option. He took Dylan Cousins' spot. We also have Here Comes the Leafs complementary pieces. Matthew Nyes, currently playing with Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner. Tyler Bertuzzi playing with John Tavares and William Nylander. I think that's enough said for the both of them. Alex Killorn finally got his season started last week and he has 2 helpers over 4 games. Sure, he doesn't hit or block, but his shot volume is decent with 9 total and 7 over the last 2 games. A few weeks ago, I recommended Peterka and said that he was a good option for the weekend, but that he was still years away from fantasy relevancy. Silly me. Fast forward until now, he's on line 1 and PP1, producing admirably with Tage Thompson. He's got 22 shots and 8 points in the last 8 games. At number 8, Ryan Strome. We are witnessing the Ryan Strome bounce back season. He's producing above a point per game at the moment, off the second line and second power play unit. Another guy who piles up helpers is Max Domi. I think he's due for his first goal soon. He's got 9 points in 15 games so far, and he is riding a 4-game point streak. We also have Adam Henrique, who is an experienced third-line center and on the power play too. Side note, do yourself a favor for the younger fans or the guys who haven't seen hockey 10, 11 years ago. Go watch his goal on YouTube during the 2012 conference final. It's one of my favorite goals to go back and check once in a while. Let's get back to business. Kaye Jarnkrok has 6 points in the last 6 games. Boomer bust candidate, just like Domi, Bertuzzi, and Nyes, they are all on the PP2. Jason's brother, Nicholas Robertson, off to a strong start with 4 points in 4 games. For deeper leagues now, we have Jordan Greenway, who is on the first line with Thompson and Pederka. And finally, Victor Olofsson has been a healthy scratch for about a third of the season, but bear in mind, he has an elite shot, and even if he plays on the fourth line, he will get chances on the power play. Extremely high risk, high reward here. We have a heavy schedule on Saturday and Sunday. 7 teams in action: Chicago, Columbus, Minnesota, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, St. Louis, Vegas. The Blues finally woke up from their slump. It seems to be over. If you acquire one of the Blues' top options before Thursday's game, you get a juicy San Jose matchup and a 3-4 instead of a back-to-back. After getting 1 assist in the first 9 games this season, Braden Shen has 8 points in the last 4. We also have top waiver wire option Boone Jenner, who's back again obviously. Sidney Crosby's winger, Brian Rust, who's up to 12 points and 43 shots in 13 games. Top line center for the Philadelphia Flyers, Sean Couturier, hasn't lost a touch and been productive on weekends so far. We also have Malkin's best winger, Riley Smith, who also has 12 points in 13 games. Pavel Buchnevich, who's fresh off of a hat trick in Colorado. Cam Atkinson has 8 goals this season and is a top power play option. We'll go with a couple more Flyers players here. Tippett at 3 goals and 4 points over 2 games last weekend. And Joel Farabee. There's a big chance this guy is the best point producer on your waiver wire right now for leagues with more than 8 people. 12 points in 15 games and a +8 ratio. As of right now, Tippett and Farabee are on PP2. Somehow, Forster still has a spot on the PP1, but they keep a close eye to monitor who will go up this weekend, since whoever does, his value should be even higher. Adam Fantilli is a guy I picked up last Sunday in the Fantasy Creators League, and since he has a beautiful schedule this week, I decided to ride him out. Plays on the second line and PP1 in Columbus. Ryan Hartman is next, no PP1 deployment, but plays with Kirill the Thrill on line 1. Nick Foligno sneaking into the second tier of this list. Line 1 winger next to Connor Bedard, PP1 for net front presence. The veteran is a great leader and a great example, and he is turning back the clock. Still on the Vegas first line is Ivan Barbashev next to Eichel and Marchessault. He centers the PP2 and is a decent option in Pennsylvania this weekend. We also have Ricard Raquel, who completes Riley Smith and Yevgeny Malkin. Great shot volume, but he needs to break the glass soon. At number 16, Kirill the Thrill 2.0. He's got points in 5 of his last 6 games. We also have Marco Rossi, who had a rough week last week, but he still plays big minutes with Matthew Boldy and Marcus Johansson. Back in the lineup on the second line and second power play unit, Morgan Frost is a decent option. Low floor, high ceiling. Foligno, on the other hand, has a great floor with his peripherals. He can lay the body, put the puck on net, while almost producing a point every 2 games without power play time. Another sneaky stream is Dmitry Voronkov. I bet half of you haven't heard of him yet, but what a start to his NHL career. 2 goals, 5 assists, 7 points in 9 games for the big man on the Columbus Blue Jackets second line with Fantilli and Marchenko. And come on guys, would it be a Weekend Zad video without Scott Lawton? Now on to defensemen. At number 1, we have the 2023-2024 version of Brandon Montour. That is Travis Sanheim, of course. So happy I picked him up. I'm not looking back. He's a must-old in almost every single league. Number 2, Zach Werenski. Elite shot volume, PP1, 12 blocks in the last 4 games. Pavel Mintyukov, the man Connor Bedard faces for Rookie of the Year so far, mostly going unnoticed. Mintyukov is not playing like a teenager, and he plays PP1. Torrey Krug finally snapped out of his drought after I dropped him. Classic. He's got 4 points in the last 3 games and should be a good option for this weekend. Jared Spurgeon is pointless after 2 games, but he has hit 2 posts so far. Elite shot blocking abilities makes him a decent option with a nice floor. Ivan Provorov, another shot blocking power play 2 defenseman. Cam Fowler lost his PP1 spot to Minchukov, but still produces. He's got 8 points in 14 games. Owen Power is on PP2, gets the occasional points, but is still very inconsistent in his peripherals. Alec Martinez is the best shot blocking defenseman. He is now on PP2 with Pietrangelo, upping Martinez's value for this weekend. And finally, for the goalie starts, the Flyers most likely will play Carter Hart on Saturday, making Urson the starter for Sunday at home against Columbus. Soft matchup in my opinion. He should be able to get his third win. 71% owned for Levy is still quite surprising to me. We've been through this before the season started. Buffalo's defense is not better than they were. Chicago still remains a one-line team, and it's a very winnable game for the Sabres. Marc-Andre Fleury plays Toronto, tough matchup. But after Fleury's horrible display last game, he is a competitor, he hates to lose, he should have a solid outing and bounce back. Gus should get the Saturday start. We also have Joel Hofer in Anaheim. Gibson or Dostal will receive St. Louis. Tough matchup to predict. Magnus Hellberg plays at home against the Golden Knights on Sunday. Jari should get the first half of the back-to-back. Merzlikins or Martin at Philadelphia. Won't matter who's in between the two. Give me Philly by over 1.5 on Sunday. Now let's jump into the categories. First up, the shots. If you're trailing, these players should be able to help you out. At first, we have Brian Rust, 3.3. Owen Tippett and Cam Atkinson at 3.2. Boone Jenner shoots 3.1 times a game. Troy Terry at 3. Nikolai Ehlers and Nino Niederreiter at 2.9. Ricard Raquel, Kirill Marchenko 2.9, and defenseman Zach Werenski at 2.6. For blocks, we have the best shot blocker in the NHL, only 10% rostered, Martinez at 3.6, his teammate McNabb at 3.2. Jared Spurgeon just came back, has 3 blocks a game. Eric Gudbranson at 2.7, Parayko and Lyubushkin at 2.5, Radko Gudas and Giordano at 2.4, and Nick Seeler and Provorov at 2.3. For the hit section now, we've got Sammy Blais and Keegan Kolesar at 3.7, Marcus Foligno at 3.5, Garnet Hathaway 2.9, Delorier and Paul Cotter at 2.8, Radko Gudas and Braden Shen at 2.5, Connor Murphy at 2.4, and Samuelson at 2.3. For faceoffs, we have Robert Thomas at 11.2, Boone Jenner at 10.9, Sean Couturier at 9.8, Adam Lowry 9, Kevin Hayes and Braden Shen at 6.3, Noah Cates at 5.7, Morgan Frost, Middlestad, and Jason Dickinson at 5.5. You see a lot of Boone Jenner and Braden Shen in those category sections. That's why I love to pick up these players. They give out a nice floor. And that's it for today, guys. Thank you for tuning in. It's been a blast. I hope you guys get a big W this weekend, and I hope this video helps. If you like the content, please don't forget to like, subscribe. It's always a pleasure to help you guys, and I will catch you guys soon. Good luck, everyone.